Greetings everyone. My name is Khushi Jaiswal and I am going to be your host for today's webinar. I welcome you all to our webinar, Pharmacy, a Potential Career Option. We all know during this time of pandemic, the stream of pharmacy has played immense role by saving the lives of people in huge number. We represent Gehlot Institute of Pharmacy, Koperkherne, under the Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Maharashtra State Branch Students Forum. We conduct healthcare campaigns to magnify the overall knowledge of society about various public aspects. This time, we have decided to move a step forward and organize a webinar stating a word for pharmacy and its outlook. I would request everyone to please kindly switch off their cameras and microphones to avoid distractions. Also, if you have any doubts or queries, please feel free to post them in the chat box given in the right top corner. Mark Twain always said the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So, on this note, let us introduce our honorable speakers. Our first speaker is Dr. Meenal Ghante ma'am. She is the Associate Professor at Srimati Kashibai Navle College of Pharmacy, Pune. She has been working as a professor and has research experience for about 15 years. She has been awarded as SAS Best Academy Award for Pharmacy in the year 2020. She was also the topper of Shivaji University for Masters of Pharmacy in the subject Pharmaceutical Chemistry in 2004. She has contributed to the stream of pharmacy by authoring and co-authoring 10 books. She has also published more than 30 original research papers in peer-reviewed journals. Ma'am, I would request you to accept the certificate of appreciation and share your valuable words with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shruti. And first, I would like to thank all the volunteers of GIP PHP, PHO volunteers from Galoth Institute of Pharmacy, Koperkharani, Navi Mumbai, for inviting me as the speaker for this webinar session, which has been organized on the topic Pharmacy, a Potential Career Option. Indeed, also I would like to welcome all the participants to this webinar and hope it helps you in choosing the right career path for the future. Thank you for this certificate of appreciation, Shruti, and even Chanvi and all the entire team.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind appreciation. Next, we'll continue with the introduction for our speaker, Dr. Preeti Kulkarni, ma'am, for our second session. She is the Associate Professor and Head of Department of Quality Assurance at Gehlot Institute of Pharmacy, Koperkherne, Navi Mumbai. She is the Associate Professor since 11 years and she has experience of 6 years of industrial pharmacy. She has received several research grants for conducting research in pharmacy field. She is also the merit holder in Bachelor of Pharmacy from Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and also in Masters of Pharmacy from SNDT University, Mumbai. She has contributed to the field of pharmacy by authoring a book chapter, and she was also invited as the resource person for several seminars and conferences. Ma'am, I would love if you accept a token of appreciation and the certificate of appreciation and share your valuable words with us.
Thank you, Shruti. I accept the appreciation letter given by you guys. And I'm very thankful to all of you, the PHO team, the whole of PHO team, and the IPA for arranging this webinar. And I welcome all the delegates who have shown interest in attending this webinar. Hope this webinar will give you more insight on our field of pharmacy, which I think I have had joined by interest and not by just as an alternative. So it was a very tremendously interesting, enthusiastic, academic tenure, and of course industrial. And now I've been a associate professor. I'm enjoying the profession even now. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind appreciation. Now, we shall begin with our session 1. Now, the base of any stream is academics. So, we have here session 1, Academics of Pharmacy by Dr. Meenal Ghante, ma'am. Ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. Welcome all participants, and also again I would like to thank such IPA MSV SF Students Forum and volunteers from Galoth Institute who have taken such an initiative for organizing a beautiful webinar for making the students aware about the right career path for their future. So now to begin, first of all, I would like to introduce you to the field of pharmacy. I hope you all are 10th or 12th aspiring students. So as you have a little background about it, I would just like to begin my talk with what is pharmacy. Whenever students, whenever pharmacy comes to a layman's mind, what you think of it? Mostly you think of a drugstore. It is just concept that has fit in our all minds that pharmacy means a drugstore. But it's not so. For those who study pharmacy, apart from a drugstore, they can choose research and development or a medicine as a career option. So what is pharmacy? It is a branch of health science that deals with the preparation, dispensing of drugs. Now, when a drug or medicine is being prescribed by a doctor, you all are aware that doctor prescribes the medicine. When it is prescribed by the doctor, it has to undergo various tests and approvals. It is tested in the lab, studied for dosage and dosage, whatever dosage forms that are there, and side effects. And only then the drug is prescribed. It has to go through a lot of a big array of approvals, because you are also aware about the COVID-19 vaccine, how much time it is taking to launch into the market because of the approvals. So what is there? A lot of testing procedures are involved into it. The medicines, once they are after guidelines, they are formulated, or they means that is they are prepared, they can have to undergo clinical trials. And only after studying all the possible effects of that medicine, it is introduced into the market. So pharmacists are a part for this entire process, right? From the beginning till the end when it is introduced to the market, when it reaches. The role of pharmacist not ends here when it reaches to the market. It again continues ahead. What they do is they study and keep the track of all the medicines and products with market surveys. So market analytics is one of the branch which is coming forward, and connecting with the medical practitioner and distributors for any side effects or reactions and allergies. You are also hearing that this vaccine, not only this, any other vaccine or any drugs have got some side effects. So all those side effects and allergies, if they are studied again. And before distribution to the market, the medicines are tested in the labs. And because of the diversity, you know, all know we are humans, staying in different countries with different backgrounds, having temperature. There is a diversity in everything that is there. Eating habits, complexity and diversity of human beings is such a huge, and therefore one medicine can have different outcomes out of it. And therefore a pharmacy practitioner or whoever is into it has to research and develop the medicine. So a lot of research is involved into it, and a pharmacist has to play a major role in research and development. So pharmacy basically includes everything that is related to your wellness, right from the food you consume to the cosmetics. Little bit about cosmetics also, we have health chemical products that you use. So a pharmacy sector, what it is, it offers a lot of opportunities to the students who are aspiring and who are willing to complete this course. There are lot of opportunities for them. Pharmacists are nowadays, we would say right now that pharmacists are now in the forefront for producing drugs with safety, affordability to the healthcare system, and they are also helping the customers, or they are providing the customer service also. So they are the experts and health professionals who have done their studies on the medicine, and they have the knowledge of the medicine for benefit of all of us. So can you go to the next slide? Having this background with us, so I hope you have removed this taboo from your mind that pharmacy means not a store, but it has to have a lot of research component involved into it. Now let me go and explain you a little bit about the pharmaceutical industry. why you need to enter into this profession. If you look at medicines, we all are knowing that medicines are life-saving, a basic necessity apart from food. See now, whenever it was locked down, that time also, except the food shops, grocery shops, only the medical shops were 24 by 7 open. So medicines are life-saving and therefore they are the basic necessity we say right now. Now this industry, if you look into pharmaceutical industry, always it is happening. So we could say that it's something new has to be introduced, some new disease comes, something new research has to go on. So we say that it is a recession proof industry. The safety, the quality and prices of medicines, of course, are of major concern. If you go to foreign countries like US, UK or Australia or Germany, you could see that the drug prices are much higher as compared to India. So those safety and quality of prices of medicine are for major concern for a development of a drug to take place. And hence, to control that, in India, if we would produce drugs with such high cost, then it is not affordable for a common layman. And therefore, this industry is also regulated. So there are various regulatory agencies, drug price, DPCO is there who is controlling the drug prices. And for there, again, the role of pharmacist comes to produce the drugs which are safe, which are efficacious. Efficacious means they are having this potency or the desired effect onto it. And also they are cheap. Now, if you look at the drug discovery business, we could say that it is for a drug to come into a market. It's not very easy and it's a risky business. A lot of research goes on. I find a new molecule. Maybe I say that this molecule is effective on allergy. It's an anti-allergic drug, but still I have to do a lot of research, and it takes about 10 years for a drug to completely be see that it is safe. And therefore a drug discovery process is a long process. Now there are ways and means by which we are having sophistication, artificial intelligence introduced, newer technologies introduced, whereby the quantum for the drug discovery, period for the drug discovery is reduced, but still a little risky business. And the pharmacy companies, pharmaceutical companies are mostly responsible for producing the drugs which are efficacious, which are safer. And therefore, we say that this knowledge-driven industry, and there is a lot of focus, continuous focus that is given on research and development. And for this research and development to take place, what is required? Our pharmacists are required. Highly skilled and qualified manpower is required for this. And you are the aspiring students in this field who can have major impact on our life expectancy if you take up this career and if you involve yourself dedicatedly in the drug research and development. Next slide. If Shruti, if I go a little out of time, please tell me my time limit. Huh? You look into the world pharmaceutical market, you could see that in US dollars, 1.25 trillion share is of our pharmaceutical industry, and it is a growing industry. And this growth is now expected to reach about 1.57 US dollars. And you have a lot of investments into the pharmaceutical field where 49% of the total sale may be USA, European Union, 23%, rest of Europe, America, Japan, 15%. So in that also, if you look into the drugs that are produced for only cancer research, $99.5 billion US investment is there into the cancer research. That is what I'm saying is that pharma, not only the companies are interested, but even the government also is interested into carry out research in the pharma field. And therefore, if you look at the share of pharmaceutical companies also, they are rising a lot with this. Next slide. Now we have seen the world scenario. No, previous slide, please. We have seen the world scenario. Now we will look into our Indian market. If you look into Indian market, Initially, till the 1950s or 60s, the pharma market for India was not, we could say it was little non-existing. We didn't had that much of importance. But after the Indian Patent Act 1970, there was a, we could say, booster for Indian pharmaceutical companies. And the domestic sale for the drugs, we are all of you are knowing that market, most of the drugs are exported. India is the largest producers for various drugs, not only drugs, vaccines. If you look into the Serum Institute from Pune, it for about 150 countries, not only this COVID vaccine or Covishield that is there, but other vaccines, triple polio, the Serum Institute has the overall wide coverage for 150 to 170 countries all over the world, and our vaccines are distributed over there. So India ranks 10th globally in terms of value and third in terms of volume for producing the drugs. So we are producer of lot of drugs that are there, and therefore huge investment is there in our country for pharmaceuticals. 20% of our global generic market supply is from our Indian side. So medical nowadays, not only pharma drugs are there, but medical devices are also having a lot of value. And our share of medical devices is also found to increase, and it will grow up to 25 billion US dollars by 2025. So we have drugs, we have devices, and if we look at quantum and if we look at the requirement that is there in this field, there is a lot of human resource requirement. Qualified skilled workers are required, and maybe by 2025, humans resource requirement in this sector would be 25 lakhs per, means what could say, 25 lakhs every year would be required for pharmaceutical industry. So such a huge market. And I request all of you to have a keen interest into it. Next slide, please. We are all knowing our Modi ji's Make in India movement. So as I've told you, there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are coming out with these devices, with this small API producing market, and the scenario is changing. We are having now golden era for our pharmacists, we could say, and I welcome you all coming budding pharmacists or who are interested into entry in our pharmacy profession. There are huge market opportunities in India, and because of we being an entrepreneur, most of them coming into entrepreneurship, we are now coming to Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan that it is there. We are having a lot of funding resources to fund our research and development, where we can go for contract manufacturing, contract research and development, small industries. We can have API manufacturing industry, nutraceuticals. A lot of requirement is there even in nutraceuticals, herbal products, lifestyle products, medical devices. Drug safety study, pharmacovigilance study is also one of the important emerging field, and clinical trials, where as I've told you that drug comes into the before coming into the market, it has to go through a lot of surveys, lot of research, where clinical trials and data management is required. There also pharmacists are required. There is a medical coding business that is also blooming business. So there is a huge untapped potential for modern medicines. And if you look at our population, you are knowing we are such a huge population. And out of that huge population, let me tell you that 75 crore population need or are dependent on some herbal, some tribal. See, because of this COVID, you all have come across some drugs which are, or some herbals which are, say, immunity boosters. All these are blooming markets which are relied again on pharmaceuticals for their safety and efficacy to be studied. Alternative medicine systems rely on us to study again the safety efficacy. So herbal market may be there, maybe pharmaceutical market. We are a chain for everyone to reach to the market and helping everyone to be healthier, to be happier in life. Next slide. Now I'll come to my actual academics, what it was, education in pharmacy. This was a little just background for you to explain. Now, if we look at education system for Maharashtra, if I hope the participants are from Maharashtra, and so I would focus on little bit about the career or say I could say academics which is related to our system from Pune or all over Maharashtra, whatever it is. As education system for pharmaceutical for pharmacy varies from country to country. In the India or in Maharashtra, we could say field of pharmacy, or mostly in India, we could say starts from diploma to doctoral level. So I have diploma pharmacy, which is of 2 years. I have bachelor of pharmacy, which is of 4 years. I have masters of pharmacy, again of 2 years, and PhD in pharmaceutical science. Minimum 3 years of research is required, and then means minimum 3 years are required for you to complete your degree for PhD, that is doctorate in pharmacy. The pharmacy education and profession in India up to graduate or master's level is regulated by Pharmacy Council of India, PCI, which is a statutory body which is governed by provisions of Pharmacy Act 1948, which is passed by the Parliament. So PCI prescribes the syllabus for us. PCI prescribes the course structure, the examination pattern, and we need to Pharmacy Council of India, which is a governing or prescribing the syllabus for now for our entire India follows the PCI prescribed syllabus. So this body governs our education system. So this is what it is, diploma to PhD. We have various different branches for undergoing the pharmacy course. Next slide. Now, if I want to become or enter into the field of pharmacy, I need to be eligible for it. So what are the eligibility requirements for the pharmacy graduate or to enter into the pharmacy field? You must be 10th plus 2, that is you have to pass if I want to pursue a degree in pharmacy, that is B Pharma. I must have passed my 10 plus 2, that is HSC examination with physics, chemistry as compulsory subjects, and apart from that, mathematics or biology must be the other subjects which are included into it, and I should obtain or I should get the PCB or PCM total of 45% marks. See, the PCB total comes to 300. Out of 300 marks for physics, chemistry and biology, I require 135 marks to enter into the field if I'm from open category, and 122 marks if I'm from other category or with disability belonging to, if I'm telling you about the Maharashtra state, belonging to Maharashtra, in all three taken together, minimum 45% or 40%. And then I should give an entrance exam. You all are knowing, if I want to go to medical, I have NEET. Similarly, if I want to come for pharmacy profession, for engineering we have JEE. Similarly, for pharmacy we have CET exam. Even if I give MHT CET or if I give NEET, any one of it, I'm eligible, but for the current year. See, if I want to take admission this year, I need to give NEET 2020, I need to give CET 2020. For current year, you must give. And this degree course is of 4 years, Bachelor of Pharmacy, for a 4 years course. Apart from that, if I want to do diploma in pharmacy, again, I have to be an Indian national. I have to pass 10th exam. Now for degree, I require 12th. For diploma, sorry, there's a little change into it. Maybe it's a 12th exam, that is HSC, and I should have at least passed class. That is 35% marks are required so that I'm eligible for admission into the institute. That is for B Pharma, sorry, diploma pharmacy. Now going to the next slide, please. If anyone has any queries, I would discuss at the last once I complete my talk regarding the admission process or eligibility of admission or whatever in academics might be. Now the next comes, if I completing my Bachelor of Pharmacy, I move ahead with the Masters of Pharmacy. In this case, again in the Masters of Pharmacy, I need to first complete my bachelor's degree with 55% aggregate marks or 50% from category, and I should have and GPAT score. Okay, that is a non-zero score should be there for entrance, which is the graduate pharmacy aptitude test, which is conducted for all over India. So this is regarding the Master of Pharmacy. And if I want after the master's program, I can do PhD, where I require to have completed master's program with first class. So I have told you right from diploma, degree, master's and PhD. So these are 4 admission heads by which you can excel in your career in the pharmacy field. This is what is about eligibility of admission. Next slide. Now, the admission process is governed by every state. For Maharashtra, we have the State Common Entrance Test Cell, along with the Directorate of Technical Education, DTE, CET cell, who governs the admission process. And in this admission process, the government of Maharashtra, there is a CET cell. In that CET cell, there are stages by which I can take or go through that admission process. That is called as a centralized admission process, CAP process we call it as. And for that CAP process, I should qualify, as I've told you, the MHT CET 2020, or this year I've written it 2020, next year it may be 2021 with a non-zero score. This is the first step. I need to do online registration, document verification, confirmation. This is the second stage. After that, we get the allotment depending upon the merit list, or marks that you have. And after the allotment in this, we have to report to the institute or the ARC and accept our seat. This is how from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3, the process of admission is governed from the DTE Maharashtra, State Common Entrance Test Cell. Next slide. Now, if you look into the degree of pharmacy, now I'm going into little inside of it. You have taken admission to the field. Now, how you are going to be exposed to this field? When you come into the degree of pharmacy, in the degree of pharmacy, there are 4 major subject heads. Apart from that, there are a huge number of subjects to be studied. Those who have passed pharmacy and volunteering this webinar, they are knowing that what all subjects they are exposed to. So master of all pharmacists are. So we have 4 major branches: pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology, pharmacognosy. Pharmaceutics and chemistry can even comprise of quality assurance. So what is the meaning of pharmaceutics? In short, I would take you to these 4 fields. Pharmaceutics is one of the discipline of pharmacy. In simple terms, I'm telling you that it is the process of, I have a drug with me, or I have an old drug with me, new chemical entity, a drug or an old drug. I need to convert it into a tablet, capsule, or any dosage form, maybe ointment, cream, to be safe and effective for the patients. In other words, what it is called as? It is called as the science of dosage form design. This is my pharmaceutics, where we could produce the drugs, formulate the drugs. I'm formulating the drug, preparing not only drugs, even cosmetics, sunscreens, lotions, creams, nail paints, lipsticks, a little bit of herbal cosmetics could come into it. Now, if you come to pharmaceutical chemistry, which comprises of inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, analytical chemistry, biochemistry, physical chemistry, natural drug chemistry, lot of chemistries are there. So what is pharmaceutical chemistry? It is a study of the drug, structure, its nomenclature, its we could say the how the structure can affect onto our body. That is a systematic study of interactions are studied, and it is one of the important component to understand the chemistry of drug, is one of the important component which is involved in the drug development process. Now, this pharmaceutical chemistry can be involved from drug discovery, to be taken into the body, to be administered, After administration, absorption it has to have, the drug has to be absorbed, it has to be metabolized, and then in everything, chemistry's role is important. So I would like to say all you dear students that those who are aspiring to come into this field, you should have a little knowledge of chemistry because it is a backbone for all other subjects. Very, very important. Most of the students try to neglect chemistry as it is difficult, they feel. But chemistry is not difficult if you have interest into it. It is the easiest subjects, I would say. Now we will go to the third branch, pharmacology. I take the drug, administer it. Now it is concerned with the study of the drug or action, what it does on our body. In simple terms, I'm telling, I'm not going to very technicalities. Whatever the drug may be, it has to be absorbed. After absorption, it produces some effect. So what effect it might produce? It is studied in pharmacology. What side effect might it produce? Studies are done. Where a drug can be having the desired effect, where it can have side effect, which part it can affect, which body part it can affect, which either it may affect or produce a biochemical effect, physiological effect, or what it is doing on our cell, tissue, organ. Everything is studied on in the branch of pharmacology. Now, all of you are aware, again, I've told you herbal drugs. Herbal drugs come into the study for a branch called pharmacognosy. Pharmacognosy is the study of medicines or crude drugs which are produced from natural source. Maybe it is a plant, microbe, and animals. It includes its analysis, their biological, chemical, physical properties, but which are related to the drugs of natural origin. So pharmacognosy is again a booming market now because herbals are having lot of importance and they will gain again importance henceforth also. Next slide. Now, I would not go much into it. This is applicable mostly for pharma students, but still let me tell you that maybe it's Sutex, maybe it's chemistry, where in the Sutex there are some areas of research. Maybe it's chemistry or quality assurance, where the projects are undertaken. And undertaking research projects may comprise of students and faculty together. And it will help you all in going ahead for your research and development activities. And when you're doing research, government is also with us now. We are having a lot of funding agencies who are providing funding for postgraduate. Even students of undergraduate are also getting funds for research work. Maybe it's method, I am going to study pharmacology, as I've told you, where you need to study toxicity of the drugs. Chemistry, you need to study the structure activity relationship. So these fields are there. In each department, there are some thrust areas where we can do research. And for that research, we get funding from various agencies. And that will help you students for your career in pharmacy. Next slide. I would not focus much onto it. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now this is the little bit about the course structure and examination pattern if you're interested to come into this field. In this field, there will be, if you look into an internal assessment and end semester examination. The course structure for our pharmacy is divided into 8 semesters. Okay, I have every year 2 semesters. Okay, first year comprises of 2 semesters, second year 2, third year 2, and final year 2. So total 8 semesters are there. And in every semester, you have internal exam and university exam. Internal exam and university exam is called as end semester examination. The pattern that is followed for end semester and internal exam varies from university to university, but mostly according to PCI, it is 75-25 pattern. means 75 marks are there for your end semester examination governed by university, and 25 marks is a continuous mode internal assessment. Continuous mode internal assessment means what? Is that you have assessment on regular basis, because in schools you are aware nowadays you have continuous assessment where you are assignments, where you have some open book tests, where you have some tutorials, some quizzes, some multiple choice question pattern. So this is all is our continuous assessment types. Similarly, here also you may have such internal assessment based on college and university level, that is of 25 marks, and 75 marks is your internal assessment. Let me tell you, here in your continuous mode of assessment, there are credits that are given to you. So this is a course which is based on credit system. The end exam semester examination for theory and practical course, again there are in each semester you have some theory subjects, you have some practical subjects. Okay, maybe 3 or 4, it depends upon the year in which you are studying. So in the end semester exam will be for theory separate, there will be for practical separate. As you have in your 12th standard a combined theory and practical, it is not so here. You have a separate theory head, you have a separate practical head. And separately the examination for theory and practical course will be taken right from the first semester to the 8th semester. So every year you have 2 internals, 2 externals, maybe comprising of 100 marks each, and practicals of 50 marks each. So we have a 75-25 for theory and 50 marks for practical. This is a pattern for BPharm. MPharm I would not discuss right now, but it's again an internal assessment and a external assessment that it is based on. Next slide. It is a vigorous course. Next, yes. This is an example for the course structure for first year BPharm. Okay. I have taken just a prototypical to tell you that we have tutorials, we have credit points for them. Each theory or practical subject is divided into weeks per hour training, and total hours are also reflected. You can see the total hours are there on the slide. You could see the per hours number that it is there. You may have subjects like for the first semester I have taken, so it is human anatomy and physiology which you are studying. You have analysis, you have Sutics, inorganic chemistry. Now, whenever you are into this field, not only technical knowledge is required, along with technical knowledge, you need to have some life skills to be developed into yourselves, some soft skills to be developed in yourselves. So you need to be well versed, because this course is taught in English. You need to explain everything in English. Your communication skills should be the best, and for that we also have a subject communication skill introduced. Some universities have it, some may not have it, but this is what as the pattern I'm telling you as a prototypical. Then those who have mathematics, little knowledge of biology is required for them. Remedial biology subject is there. Those who do not have mathematics for the some because we need some mathematical calculations to be carried out, some remedial or some simple maths formulas needs to be understood, and therefore we need remedial maths or biology in the first semester. And apart from that, there are practicals that are there. In the second semester, again, you have an extension of these theory subjects, where again you may have study a little bit about organic chemistry. You all are aware, maybe 12th standard students are there. So you may be knowing that you have inorganic, you have organic chemistry. So again, it is divided into 2, inorganic, organic, little bit about biochemistry you study. Pathophysiology is there, computer applications. You need to have knowledge about our environment and how it can affect us. So for that, again, we have environmental sciences subject, and again, computer applications, little knowledge, because nowadays everything is on computers. You are now again taking your webinars, you're listening, you are well versed with the mobile. But that is not sufficient that only you know have the knowledge of mobile or downloading the apps. That is not sufficient. Apart from that, some knowledge about PowerPoint, some knowledge about Excel is required if you want to do data analytics. So a little bit about computer applications in pharmacy is also there. So I have told you that you are going to study a variety of subjects, and these field is very interesting, and you will have a lot of different areas. Again, we have regulatory market where you need to study about various acts that are there. As you go ahead, subject by subject, those who are interested maybe in law, something related to this regulatory market is also there. So year in year, new subjects you would learn, and you will have insights into the all fields that are there. So you will be master of all in such topics. Next slide. Now, when you are entering into this field, as I've told you that there are a little, we could say, schemes, government is funding. Apart from that, whenever we have these admissions taking place, you all are aware about the scholarships and free ships which are given by the government for students to undergo this education. Not only this, but all technical educations, these are there. But apart from that, I would just have enlisted down, you have the SC, ST, SBC, VJNT, OBC, EBC scholarship, tuition fee waiver scheme is introduced. Now for AIC, from AICT, All India Center for Technical Education, girls who are meritorious, for them, Pragati scholarship for girls is there in the first year. When they admit to the first year, you will be getting some scholarship. Leela Poonawalla Foundation is there, who is providing scholarship for girls. There is Punjab Rao Deshmukh scholarship, minority scholarship. If you want to go for PG, then again AICT gives you every month a stipend of 12,400 if you're GPAT qualified. I've told you that GPAT is the entrance examination. If you have a diploma, if you're pursuing diploma, then there is MSBT scholarship for diploma students. So here is a huge list of scholarships. So this this field is very lucrative, having a lot of scholarships, and you can avail any one of them, and you can come into it, so that you get a proper education with proper funding. Next slide. Now, to end up my talk, I would just tell you one thing. See, whenever this is a little 5 minutes short, not 2 minutes, I would take on this. That this is a little true story. I would just tell you. The story is way long back in 1963, where goals are there. The name of the story is The Goals, the Secret to Making Your Dreams Come True. In this story, scientists have performed an experiment from the graduating class of Harvard Business School students. They asked the students to write down their goals for themselves, the goals for life, for future. Only 3% of the class had actually written down their goals. Yes, let me tell you, just 3%. And again, 25 years later, the scientists again got in touch with the class of batch 1963. They find out how they had been in their careers and in their lives. And guess what? They found that net 3% of the class that had written down the goals was more than net worth the rest of the batch. The goals written down students seemed to be happier and doing whatever they wanted and leading for more fulfilling their lives. This is incredible, but I believe this is true, and it could be true for all of us. So you are young aspiring students, and let me tell you, keep a goal in mind. Keep a goal of entering into the pharmacy field. Decide again what are your goals, what you need to achieve, what you want to be in life, at work, whatever it be, write it down. And no later, not tomorrow, now you write it down, and now you write that I want to enter into this field of pharmacy. This is a very lucrative field, and you could have a very bright career into it, and commit yourself to action. Commit yourself to do what it makes to achieve your goal, and then take action, and everything you do is taking you closer to it. And for this, it is final moment that you take a step today. Maybe it's small, but take the first step. Okay? Say, for example, if you want to be the best salesperson, try to make extra sales today. For example, I'm telling you will see the difference. And therefore, it just take 3 steps. If you want to enter in this profession, write down your goals, make a commitment to action, what it takes. Come on, make a beginning. You owe to yourself. Let me tell you. Let us think of the pharmacy education as a means of developing our greatest abilities, because in each of us there is a hope and dream which can be fulfilled. And when we dream, can be translated. See, dream such that you benefit yourself, along with that, you benefit the nation also. And pharmacist is the one who will benefit the nation. And this dream can satisfy or become the strength of our nation. Our dream will help us in strengthening ourselves, in strengthening our nation. So this is what I wanted to tell you through this story, that set your goals. And this was a true story which I could say was conducted in 1963 in the Harvard Business School. To end up my talk, can we go to the last slide? Yes, I welcome you with wishing you a very rewarding career in the pharmacy in India and across the world. Thank you all for listening with patience and for having such an interest into this webinar. And again, I thank the organizers for inviting me to share with it. Now, shall we take the questions? If anyone has any questions.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, a very, very gratitude to you, because you did it with so core importance for the academic. So I hope that all our students would at least now come to know the basic of pharmacy and its importance as well as a career.
Thank you.
We also got some questions
Yes.
regarding it. Uh, the first question is Rajat Sharma's. He asks, ma'am, will you elaborate the point regarding medical coding business?
Yes, please repeat the question.
Rajat Sharma asks, ma'am, will you elaborate the point regarding medical coding business?
Acha, medical coding you want to understand. See, for this, first of all, whenever you're going for medical coding, let me tell you that you need to first have a graduate in pharmacy. That is, you need to take the B Pharm degree. When you're taking the B Pharm degree, maybe medical coding is a transformation of healthcare diagnostic procedures, medical services into some codes, alphanumeric codes that are there. And these codes are taken from a medical record documentation. It is a documentation with transcription of physician's notes, especially whenever we are having into the, say, coding is required for in the foreign US, whenever we have insurance claims. That time some the medical practitioners, doctors, they diagnose and have some medical records, and they record that documentation or that record is there in codes. We need to document that medical record in such as transcription of physician's notes, laboratory or results, and we need to explain, or we need to transform them into our simple language so that they are understandable. Means physician's prescription we are transforming. Okay, in simple terms, we are transforming the physical prescriptions for layman or simple students, or for a normal. That is medical coding. For
All
that,
right.
you require to have degree in pharmacy. Even doctors can be medical coders, not only pharmacists.
All right, ma'am. Our next question is, what is credit points and how are the marks converted into credit points?
Yes. Now, see, whenever we have admissions, or whenever we take admission to a course, as I have shown you in the slide, that there is 3 hours for lectures, 1 hour for tutorial. So when I complete in a week, I'm telling, in a week when I complete 3 hours of lecture and 1 hour of tutorial, so there are 4 hours of teaching that is there. And if I attend that 4 hours of teaching, I would get 2 credits, 3 credits. It depends upon the universities. And total of these credits should come to maybe more than 90 from all 8 semesters, and at least I should have 95 credits from all the semesters that I have done so that I get a degree. Credits are based on the number of hours of theory and practical that you attend, and you pass those with minimum marks. Then you get those allotted credits. If you pass theory with 50% marks, you would get 3 credits for it. If you pass practical with 45 or 50% mark, you get 2 credits for it. So in a semester, maybe 25, or in a year, you may get 25 credits. Okay, you need to have those 25 credits completed. And then you go for the second semester. So credits are based on the theory and practical classes that you attend and that you pass. And there is a formula prescribed by university to allocate the credits. Every university has its different formula for allocating the credits. And it depends. And for Pune University, I have told you 25 credits for per subject it is. Per, per year.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much. The other question is, what are the skills that a pharmacist needs for entering a manufacturing department?
Okay, for a manufacturing department. First of all, let me tell you that for all pharmacists, as I've told you, first thing is that you should have soft skills with you. Okay, what are soft skills and communication skills? Soft skills or life skills, we could say. Life skills are what? I should have positive attitude. How I come to a solution. How I am means that attitude is important. Apart from attitude, what is my perspective to look into the problem? Diagnosis of the problem is important. So mental ability is to be tested. Then, am I a good team leader? When I'm coming for a manufacturing section, I need to have a team along with me. So how I go along with my team, how I motivate my team. So managerial skills are required, positive attitude, managerial skills, leadership skills. In an industry, everyone is not a leader, but amongst a group, someone says, I would do this differently. Manufacturing is there. I would try something in this manufacturing formula. So what is there? I am a leader now. So leadership skills are there. Time management is very important. That is also one of the skill which is required. Positive attitude. Then I should have, I must be properly optimistic enough whenever a boss has some queries which are related to it. So I should think properly and I should be able to solve it. So thinking abilities are to be there. So I should have, again, I've told you, communication, leadership, managerial, time managing skills, positive attitude. At least these skills are required.
All right, ma'am. The last question we have is, are all the semesters part of university examination?
All semesters, right?
Yeah.
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 Definitely, let me tell you that every semester from 1st to 8th has end semester examination, which is called as university examination, and it has internal assessment. So in a year, I need to give 2 end semester examinations, 2 internal assessments. So total 4 multiplied by 4. Every semester has university exam. And so 4 exams, 2 internal, 2 external in a year into 4. There are some subjects in each course for the first year and second year, not third and final year, but in each course there are some subjects, as I've told you, remedial maths, remedial biology. Those are not university exams. Those are taken at college level. But other subjects which are core pharmacy subjects, those are there at the semester examination. And for final year students, I forgot to include this point into my presentation, but let me tell you, there is a project work and industrial training which is required. So to be a pharmacist, as to get a label of pharmacist after 4 years, I need to do industrial training of minimum 45 days in an industry. I need to understand the working of industry, or even I can do in a hospital as a hospital pharmacist. I can do in a pharmacy store, anywhere. I need to understand the working of that department. And after 45 days of training, I need to produce a copy of that certificate to the university. So industrial training or hospital training or community pharmacist training is important. And second thing is that you need to do a project work. Now, according to PCI syllabus, in the last semester, final year, you need to do practice school. As in foreign, you have a practice school to be undergone for maybe even for engineering or any field. Similarly, PCI has also introduced a practice school in our 8th semester final year, where you need to understand about, or where you need to do a project. Maybe you can do it in industry, or maybe you do it in the lab, where your lab should be, or where your college should have a lab that is equipped with all industrial equipment. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you very much for explaining all the answers so nicely.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I take leave?
Uh, yeah, ma'am. Sure. But if you would like to continue, you can, ma'am. We'll have a 2 minutes water break or hydration break, and then we'll continue with the session. The other
I
another
would
session.
wait for 10 more minutes and then I would leave. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome.
I request everyone to please stay connected. Please do not get disconnected. We'll have a break for 2 minutes, and then we'll be back with the session. Please do not get disconnected and stay in the meet. Hello, everyone. I would now request everyone to please switch on their cameras for video attendance. Gajula ma'am from Vivekanand English Medium School, please ask all your students to turn their cameras on. I request everyone to please switch their camera on for the attendance.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Students, everyone, just on your videos. All the students, I'm requesting you once again on your videos. All the students, be fast. Students, am I audible to everyone? Just on your videos. This webinar is now just completed. Yes, Kushi, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
Uh,
we are done. Now, it's okay if you switch off your cameras. There's a link given in the chat box. All the students are requested to fill it. It's the feedback form. This will help us to improve, and also it will help us to give you all the e-certificates for the webinar. So I would request please fill that, and then we'll be done. It is provided in the chat box, ma'am, at the top right corner. There's a Google form link. Everybody is requested to fill it. With this feedback form filling, we have come to an end of this amazing seminar. To conclude it, I would like to request Marani ma'am to from Vivekanand English Medium High School. Please give us your convey us your thoughts on this webinar.
I would like to, first of all, a very, very big thank you to this organization, that is Golit Institute of Pharmacy, that they are arranged such a wonderful webinar for our students. And especially thanks to Dr. Meenal ma'am and Dr. Preeti ma'am. Really a wonderful, explanation you have given to our students. Wonderful career guidance, we can say, because these are very like 10 stand up to 10 standard, they don't have that much knowledge about the pharmaceuticals. Just they are going just like a subject like history, geography, science, a small basic knowledge they got now. But whatever the things the ma'ams, both the ma'ams have told, really it's too worthy for them, and this leads to them to choose a better career for their future. Really, Mainal ma'am, just I would like to say that how the pharmacy, what are the degrees of pharmacy are there? She explained the pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology, pharmacognosy. So these are really what means how they can go in that fields, and what are the marketing schemes and marking schemes also she explained how it is internal marks and end of the semester marks. Really good. And course of the studies, how it is, miss total, everything she has explained. Even how really see, maximum people are a school, or we can say our area are below poverty level, means poverty level, like, so they don't have that much financial condition. She explained very thoroughly about the scholarships. Really, I would like to appreciate this thing that scholarship how they will get, because the SC ST also there, especially the girls have their scholarship things are there. So the government is how they are, government is helping to our students. So this is a wonderful opportunity for our parents also. They will definitely make them to get this career for choosing this pharmacy field. And this is of course pharmacy is nowadays it's very, very important for our day to day life, because they in that they are very getting the a better future. And now once again I'll tell thank you to Dr. Preeti miss. Ma'am, really a good explanation you have done. Each and every point minutely explained, ma'am. Really, it's a career, how the scope is there. Means, whenever we are choosing a career or whenever choosing the field, first of all, we will just see how what are the benefits we will get in this. The student has to think about this. But you explain a very minutely, madam, that which in which field if we will go and how they are getting benefit of that field. So ma'am's really explanation was very good, and how to enter into the private sector, government sector, what are the opportunities they have. Really, there's like a and it means many maximum things are provided, ma'am. I will really once again I would like to say that thank you to all and the organizers, which has been given the guidelines for our students, and especially my student, ex-student, that is Supriya, Samar Supriya. Beta, I'm giving you, like blessings for you, that you have a wonderful future. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Again, once again, thank you to all.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your
Thank you,
appreciation.
ma'am.
Lastly, we'll now end it, and I would really like to thank our speakers, Dr. Meenal Ghante ma'am and Dr. Preeti Kulkarni ma'am, for the beautiful explanation of the career field and the academics of pharmacy. I would also like to thank Vivekanand English Medium School for collaborating with us, and Umarani ma'am for you to uh, representing your school on behalf of them. I would also like to thank all the students and parents present in this webinar for patiently listening to all the session, and then enjoying the doubt session and the question answer sessions as well. Thank you very much. It's a heartfelt gratitude. I hope this webinar will now help you for selecting your career options and your future as well. Thank you.